probably to come back, and he probably won't start the season as a first choice unless something happens, complicate Arteta's thinking in relation to Ben White and Gabriel, because as much as it's money well spent and you can see why we've done it, you know, it will be a year's partnership. That's hardly legacy defining and things like that. So I'd want him to come and complicate things, make Arteta think, does he, you know, do I play Gabriel and Saliba and Ben White? What do I do here? Do I play both of them and move Ben White over? And just generally across a 38-game calendar, we need the ability to be able to play that. Look now, we lost Tomiyasu for a large part, and we've done all right. You know, we need to be able to rotate. We need to be able to slide players in without too much of a drop-off. There'll be plenty of games for everyone, but what I would not want is purely disrupting things, especially because that's going to affect how you play out from the back. You know, respectfully, as much as I feel Saliba is developing and things, I don't think he's currently a player that justifies I walk into the starting lineup. The same as much as I feel with the centre halves. A lot of these players, arguably, the only ones I would say have to start for me, is Saka, Odegaard now, because he's made himself. I would probably, for me, Smith Rowe, but he ain't been starting and we've been getting the job done. Partey by default, Granit, and more time Ramsdale and the obvious ones, really. So it's one of them ones. Yeah, but PSG got Nunes, man. What qualities do you think we need in an 8, bro? Just someone that wants the ball, consistently looking to get the ball off the centre half, turn, break the lines, really. Thoughts on Martin Terrier, second choice striker? I thought he was media at Lille and Lyon, but he's been waving for Rennes. His long shots are crazy. Nah, I'm cool, man. What would you do if you were a manager and if Saliba says he'll only stay if he plays? Well, you get opportunities to play. You know, I'm not going to guarantee you're going to just start week in, week out. You have a platform. If you show me why you'll play. And that's competition that is going to see him. You think you're going to play at half of these teams he's been linked with unless it's on merit? A lot of stat people can't pinpoint why we are good. Maybe they overlook that to implement system needs sacrifices of time and the right personnel. Well, they're not looking because statistically we have improved. I'm no stats man, but you could see us. You know, Millier, if he wants to be second choice, why not? Really. But I very much doubt that's for him or part of his intentions. But why not? But as I was saying with the 8 thing, someone that just wants to look up, man. Until Ivan Toney says F this club and that. Because we ain't here for that Brentford stuff. Respectfully, Brentford. Didn't see it. Only saw the highlights, but it don't seem like Ben White had the best of games at right back. I don't know. I didn't see it. Oh, come on. Don't be stupid. You're asking silly names about guys with doubt, man. Man City, Liverpool, and Chelsea have one thing in common: squad depth. I believe Arteta will bring in more top players this summer, hopefully. But then, you know, you can't cry about squad depth and then people, you know, start crying about who's going to play. You know, first it was don't buy Odegaard because we got Smith Rowe, but there's pressure. Even Saka and Smith Rowe, you have a target on your back. You're number 7, number 10 for this football club. Whatever number Martinelli takes. You think Saka, you know, you think Liverpool are not always looking for strikers and inside forwards and all of them things. You can't dislodge them. White was at fault for their goal. Well, he needs to pattern up. Pardon me, rather than make mistakes in them shirts, and then that's it. All of these, both Gabriel, Saliba, Ben White, they've all made mistakes this season. They're all going to make mistakes this season and next season. They're not the finished article. Between them, they're not just based on the games they've played. They haven't played too many times. You got to remember, for Ben White, this is Ben White's second season as a professional footballer within the Premier League. You know. He's a good player, very composed on the ball. Can see why Ben White was brought, you know, better defender than giving credit for, more vocal than giving credit for. But by the same token, he does some, I don't know, I never saw this mistake. I only saw the goal. So based on what he did there's times where he's given a penalty away for no reason, sloppy passes, positioning a bit off. You know, Gabriel give, you know, sloppy back passes at times. Gabriel's got an error in him. Saliba does as well. The other day, Saliba's giving away a needless free kick and then they've scored from it, really. you know, and this is the age they're at, literally, you know. Ben White has 62 appearances in the Premier League to himself. That's barely 2 seasons, literally. And that's off a good foundation of getting 15 League One appearances, 42 in League Two, 46 in the Championship. He's only played 62 times in the Premier League. 31 of those have come at Arsenal. And how many of those have come through the middle of the park at centre-half? Because I could be being ignorant, but more time at Brighton, it's looking like he's playing right back. So, and he's obviously, there's a different system and the rest of it. So you've got however much, where, you know what, where's a calculator, man? Because we can actually, my maths is poor. Calculator, mate. Give me an online calculator. Let's actually, between these 3 centre-backs, assuming this is it, you know, how many appearances have you made for Arsenal Football Club? How many did I say? 62. Forget for Arsenal Football Club for a sec. 62 top division appearances from Ben White. Yeah, so that's Ben White's contribution. Okay. Now we go and look at his centre-half colleague, if it would let me find it, Gabriel. You know, how many have you played? Because you've probably played more for us now than you did for Leo. You've made 25 appearances so far this season. Shout out Gabriel. Gabriel has played 60 times for Arsenal Football Club, 48 times in the Premier League. So plus 48, that's now 110 appearances between them people, you know. Now, let's go and find Saliba. Because I'm sure, obviously, if you was to put Chelsea centre-backs, half of the centre-backs in the league, not necessarily the bigger teams or wherever, and you put their games played, how you got to remember, this is experience, especially for a centre-back, you know. How many career games in the top flight have they played? It's like a doctor that's obviously done heart surgery numerous times is going to be more at home than someone that's done it once, 10 times, 5 times. And not the best of examples. You do hope they wouldn't make mistakes, but you get the point, you know. Saliba's probably got the most top division experience, slightly, you know, from Saint Etienne, Marseille, and Nice. But again, that's 76 appearances in the French division. Certain man might discount that. So it depends how you're looking at Saliba and Gabriel to a degree. So that's 110 plus 76. What happened here? Hey, my calculator just froze. But as I was saying, 110 plus 76. Bro, that's 186 appearances between, you know, all 3 of these players, assuming that happened. You know. Saliba has made the same amount of Ligue 1 appearances as it would be if you played 2 seasons in the Premier League, 76. I had to calculate that. But yeah, you know, they're an inexperienced team. They're going to make mistakes. They're going to do silly things. And it's just like the strikers. They're going to do silly things. We can't cry about these youngsters if at times they don't. And to the strikers with Balogun, Saka, Smith Rowe, because it ain't been Odegaard even slightly older, but it ain't been a big trajectory. There's been points at the season where fingers have been pointed. Martinelli, they're still developing. We can't waffle about these guys being the guys tomorrow if we don't give them an opportunity. You know, if you're a chef to be a Michelin star chef, at some point you're gonna cut your fingers with a knife. No, I hope you know you don't hurt yourself too much, but this is the territory we're at. There's going to be times, man, are going to miss easy chances. Ramsdale even as well. None of these guys are going to be the finished article. That's why, for me, when we're committing to buy these players that the number 8 and whatnot, and they're a bit more rounded, we kind of need them to hit the ground running now, if I'm honest, because that ties into everything. But yeah, man, it is what it is. And for me, it gasses me. You know, I do think all options will be open with Saliba in the summer, in that he might keep it moving. He might stay. You know, if I was him, honestly, I'd say, all right, cool. You know what? Now's the year in it. I'm returning back to Arsenal. I've made, at this moment in time, 1 appearance in for France. You know, at this moment in time, I've played 28 times in the league for Marseille, gaining a lot of plaudits, to go with the experience gained at Nice, Saint Etienne and that, to go with what maybe the managers told me when I spent my 6 months at London Coley. Now's my chance. I'm going to go. I'm going to try and break in. Bro, I swallow your backside. Shut the fuck up, you pussy. But yeah, man. Anyways, man, tried to do the mad thing, but away from any of that. Yeah. As I was saying, he probably says, you know what, I would honestly say, all right, cool. We're in the Champions League, Europa League, whatever. From now till Jan, I'm going to fight. Or from now to the end of the season, I'm going to fight. If not, I'm going to keep it moving. If you show me things, I might sign a new deal. But again, don't forget he got into the team on a technicality because there was injuries with Pavard. But if you're not playing like you are at Marseille,